figure this shit out, bro. Yo, what's good, Freddie? I cannot hear you.
¿Me escucha ahora?
Finally, bro.
Estamos en lío, coño, azaroso, estúpido.
Sara Gusana.
Mamá que busque.
All right. This deserves a celebration.
Estoy quemado yo. Déjame quitar este
Bro,
lío.
hey, time out, bro. Let me see that 2006 got that at a free carnival book bag you just pulled out of nowhere.
You like that? You like that? You like that, daddy? Está ahí en mancha de aceite.
The drawstring.
Even if I wash it, it stays with a mancha de aceite.
Hey, don't you remember all the bad students? You knew who a bad student was in high school when they had that book bag right there. They had one little folder with...
It was crumbled up, lad.
It was kind of warped. Yes.
El papel se abría así.
Horrible. That's exactly how you knew.
God gracious, man.
What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Daddy, see, please request recording permission.
Oh, I'm recording already. Don't worry about it. Screw
No,
it.
but let me get permission, bro. I want to feel not entitled, but
All right, well, hang on.
the gratitude of.
But where I don't see the request.
Oh, you got to gain permission. You just got to go gain permission.
Where did I do that?
Please request. Okay, I'm requesting it right now verbally. Can I get some access to go ahead and record?
You may. Yes, you may, actually.
Ah, thanks. This is great. This is a great day.
Gee willikers. So, to not hold this back any further, I will grant you permission. When I actually get a formal request for permission, then I will say yes. But since we have been trying to get your webcam to work for the last 30 minutes, we're going to go ahead and proceed with this session right here. What's up with all those colors in front of you, bro?
That's the TV, making sure that I'm looking good with the lighting.
Looking good. You look like you got stopped by the cops.
Huh?
You look like you got stopped by the cops.
Yeah.
You see when you're like, damn. But usually when those lights are flashing like that, your face is usually like this. I'll show you a funny meme. Hang on a second. Show you a funny one.
Let me get over here.
Uy.
Yeah, boy. Ahora sí, estamos en negocio. Estamos en lío, papo.
So, I don't know if people know about this, man. The you know, our loyal followers here, that you're quite the artist, aren't you?
Yeah.
So
are we recording already? Like for real?
Oh, that's it, man. We don't have to
Well, everybody, sorry for the long delay, first and foremost. And welcome again. The third episode of It's a Conversation with your host, J&A. Y aquí estamos. We're ready. We're live.
Let me show you this funny ass meme, bro. It's really funny. It's one of my favorites. This face that this guy's making is unbelievable.
Is he in a trash? Oh, he's getting arrested. He gone.
Read it.
When you come to get your unemployment fraud.
That's the face
you learn today. El tipo está quemado.
Tell you what I do.
I'm telling you, I wanted your work. Give me that damn check, damn it.
Why'd you answer no 50 weeks in a row?
Yeah, they always told you no, you couldn't come on in. Lying ass. So yeah, man. Talking about that and that, man. We were just talking about video comes to me from the OG series. I mean, we're not, that old, but from the OG series. Nintendo, the original, or Sega Genesis.
Oh, man. Like I told you, bro, I was, I don't know if it was a thing because it was cheaper or what the situation was, but I had a Sega Genesis, kid. I had a Sega Genesis. At least I had something. You know what I'm saying? And
At least you had something. You had something you can go with, and you had something you can.
Bro, I had a couple classics. I had Sonic. I had Sonic Part 2.
Did you get the Mortal Kombat back in the day?
Well, of course, Mortal Kombat 1. Yeah. So to this day, if you can find an original copy of MK on Sega Genesis, remember this. When you're on like the little credit screen, you hit ABACABB, and that's what's known as the blood code. For some reason, I'll never forget it. I just won't ever forget it.
Isn't that the one that unleashes the COVID-19 into your Genesis?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It should open Pandora's box, bro.
Shouldn't be fucking playing with that damn thing, man.
Fuck that thing, bro.
Let
Yo,
me relajo, loco.
so check it. No, the blood code, bro. So like, yeah, the game was kind of ahead of its time. You got a bunch of people fighting all this stuff, but there wasn't any blood unless you knew that code, kid. So I found out that code somehow, some way. Back then, remember,
Yeah.
no internet in my house at that point. That was just not even thought of yet. And so, boy, I was out there in my room just cut, sangre. Parents didn't know, or else they would have just pulled the plug on that. But honestly, I mean, from what I can remember, besides Sonic 2, and which was Sonic and Tails,
I love Sonic.
Mortal Kombat, and a couple Street Fighters here and
Street
there.
Fighter. I was gonna say Street. You can't go wrong with Street Fighter, man.
But I wasn't like the biggest. I was a bigger Mortal Kombat fan than I was a Street Fighter fan. Always.
Really?
I mean, back then, yeah, for sure.
I always thought that Street Fighter was some dudes were there at a club and they couldn't get in. One they tried to refresco encima al otro.
Well, that's why like.
But
that's why like you had this guy like here in the back. Remember the people in the back? They was doing the same move.
Yeah, you're gonna win. Keep going. Yeah.
Doing some weird movements that weren't even natural.
Man.
Yo, look at that, bro. Yeah, you look like a peacock because that painting right now.
Yeah, I'm a flowers. I look like I'm thinking up a storm right here. I'm
just peacock. Yeah, but I got this really cliche dream.
Cause you're a dreamer, dog. You're a dreamer, bro.
At least it makes a little bit of music. You ready? Check it out. You hear it?
I heard the jingle. I heard the jokes.
The jingle jangle.
I jingle jangle.
So what about you? What about you? Talk. Why don't you let the people know Sega Genesis or Super Nintendo? Because those were the two contemporaries.
Me, Super Nintendo, bro. What?
Say why? Why Super
Mario?
Nintendo?
It's a Mario. It's a Mario.
They didn't have that game back then. That was Nintendo 64, kid.
Hey, what you mean Nintendo 64?
What? It's a me Mario?
It's a me Mario.
When the first time
he was silent. Yeah, he didn't really talk much.
I was gonna say, bro, when they brought out that Italian stereotype was in 1990, whatever the hell it was, when Super Nintendo came. I mean, Nintendo 64. Anyway.
Yeah, I remember that, man.
Right now, I'm actually using. I'm not a gamer whatsoever. I wish I was. I'm fine not being one. But I wanted to kind of get into something interactive and little fun, and so during quarantine, I was reading an article and I saw like an ad saying, "Oh, Google is giving a couple of months free of their subscription service to play games," because they know a lot of people were going to be home. How are they going to spend the time? So what I did was I spent, it was like $90. It came with a control, it came with like a special Google Chromecast, and basically you can go and find out a lot more information about it. I'm not going to give you the X's and O's about the whole thing. But
I'm taking notes right now. Tell
me.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, see that you're super interested. All the while you're looking up at your TV. I can tell what you're at. Fucking look at that. I got caught. I got nothing to say. Let me take a little sip of this right quick. Kind of like.
Little hermit.
Smells right. Listen. So bought that thing. I played it a couple times. I'm not a gamer, bro. That's it. I mean, granted, it's not a PS4, it's not an Xbox, whatever, live or 360 fireworks, whatever. It's a cloud-based gaming system. I bought a couple games. Like they usually have like promotions, so I bought a couple on sale. Bro, I mean, the only one that I'll habitually turn on for one game, if that, is NBA 2K or whatever it's called. And I'll throw that one on, and it's cool because since it's all cloud-based, there's no loading, right, with this thing. There's no updating. It all happens in Google's servers.
Yeah, like
right?
kind of like there's server rooms that they have there.
That's where you're streaming it from. So you just have to have a good internet connection so you can have a worthwhile playing experience. But what's cool is that all the rosters are constantly updated. So I guess in that regard, it's kind of cool. I think that it has potential. You feel like you're like 1B instead of 1A, obviously, but that's okay, you know. So it fits exactly what I wanted because since I'm not a huge gamer, I didn't want to invest $300 or more in the console, especially with the new one coming out. And then $60 every time a game comes out. Maybe it's gonna be more expensive now. Stuff always jumps up a little
Yeah,
bit.
man. Now the new PlayStation is coming out, and I think it's $100 more than the old one, which is I'm like, bro.
Yeah, but it looks cool, bro. That shit's a
Like,
fucking decorative piece.
somebody had put a picture, and it was like the Avengers uniform series, combining it to how the PlayStation series going.
Oh, really? So who was the first
And
one?
I'm
Iron Man?
like, bro, they're like in line for every single chapter, bro. In line for every chapter.
But what do you mean though? Like what the PS1 was like Iron Man or something like that, or how did that
No,
work out?
you got. I mean, I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you for you guys that haven't seen it. Look it up on Google. But basically, you saw those suits, those white suits that they were using with the.
Oh yes, 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 yes. Yeah, in the last movie.
That's basically the style that they're using for the PS5. The PS4, they were very sleek, very like this shine to them.
But I feel like
That's kind of like the other portion of Endgame. So,
yeah,
so it's
I
like
see what you're saying.
I saw it. I was like, man, I never put it two and two together, but I was like, yeah, it's about right.
That's
All right.
cool. That's cool. That works. Cool, man. So what else? How you been doing? How's this week been for you?
Good man, good man. We went to the park this morning, and the funniest thing, we went to a park right here by the house. Thinking, oh, they got some basketball courts. I've been lazy. I haven't really done much since the whole lockdown process. They closed down everything, all the major parks.
So they opened up the courts.
No, I pulled up. There's yeah, there's Army reserves there taking care of people coming in, and they're like, if you got an appointment, I'm like, well, I'm coming to this to work out. Me and my girl were gonna go work out, whatever. They're like, no, you can only come in if you have an appointment because we're just doing testing in this facility.
Oh, you went to CV Smith.
Yeah, so they're basically holding that CB Smith only for testing. Anybody who does testing or has an appointment is able to get in.
So basically, it's not operating like a park. It's just operating like an open space for people to stage the testing.
Yeah. So we ended up going to another.
So did you get tested?
No, I don't have an appointment. I ain't got no. At this point, I don't feel like I've been exposed.
You misplayed your hand, kid. I would have been like, sir, I've been trying to get this thing, man. Trying to get tested for the last 7 weeks, man.
I'm jittery, bro. I'm jittery. Let me get in
with something more like that.
Yeah, but the thing about it was the tents were right next to the basketball court. so I wasn't gonna be able to fly.
One little achu and you're catching something on a layup.
Oh, that's it.
Be like, go for it.
Kobe.
Koof right there. Ahí, cogiste algo.
My face. Oh, Lord.
Qué rico. Sabroso.
So we ended up going to another park. And in this park, bro, it was a very pretty park, peaceful, very serene location. It was beautiful. Only bad thing is,
sorry.
There you go. Get it out. Get it out.
Get it out.
Get that out.
I mean, I'm laying on a bed right now, guys, so don't blame me.
We get to that park.
This is gonna change, by the way, in the next video. I promise. It's just we have a small apartment. My girlfriend's actually more reliant on the internet. And I'm sorry, we're digressing. I'll let you get back to your story.
No, you're good. Listen, you got a wonderful place, man. I've been to
it's nice. It's nice. It's a good value, but it's time for the upgrade. Number one, first and foremost. And yeah. So right now, like, she's got the living room because she's doing a live, and she has a lot of fiscal ties or reasons to be on the internet. So it's definitely part of her business. I'd like to make this at some point. That'd be fantastic. But since we
gotta cater to the people.
She's got dibs, man. So right now, your boy's gotta start from the bottom, and the bottom meaning the bed. So at least I could do this horizontal. I'm literally laying horizontally, so I'm good. I'm good.
No, you're good. You're
At
good,
least
bro.
I'm
Listen, like
comfortable,
Drake
so that's
said,
fine.
like Drake said, we started from the bottom and we're still at the bottom. So right now, I'm gonna hold you. But hey, listen, we're getting there little by little, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Yo, so did you peep? Well, obviously, it's not new news, if you will. Kanye West having announced his candidacy for president, right? I don't know what party he's running in.
El
So
Come Lechuga ese, yes.
I read somewhere that okay, that was starting to like flounder out. I was always thinking it may have been like a hoax or some sort of troll, but now the guy was actually staging a rally of some sort, right? You can actually look it up. You can look, do you follow Sean King on Instagram?
No.
So Sean King's a pretty worthwhile follow. Basically, he's a big voice and advocate for equality, racial equality. Big, he came on my radar with the Black Lives Matter movement when this was, I mean, it's still a movement, obviously, but when it was, extremely feverish with, the George Floyd protests and things like that. So I saw his account come up. But anyway, he reports on a lot of injustices and basically just you can look up the profile. So, just videos and his commentary is pretty on point.
We're gonna go ahead and put the link to his Instagram channel.
Yeah, we could do that. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is because he posted a video of Kanye West, like a snippet of I don't know if it was actual rally or maybe speaking off the official message that the rally had, and he was just talking so much shit, dude. Like this is far beyond abstract or seeing things, more than what meets the eye. He was basically making the case how Harriet Tubman did not free one black slave. Okay. Harriet Tubman was a conductor, as we probably know, or maybe many of us have forgotten the term. She was a conductor on the Underground Railroad. So if it wasn't for her, at least those actions, many black people would not have ever seen liberty or escaped the South. And obviously, whether or not it was her breaking the shackles, she was obviously greatly, a part of that, right? So long story short, that's what the guy was popping off at the mouth at. It's almost not worth watching because it's gonna piss you off, but it is because I'm a little bit confused though. Think about it though. I'm a little confused as to what exactly is he trying to do here? Like, what is his reasoning for is it to get Trump elected? Is it like, to kind of like siphon votes out of Biden's camp? So
out of Biden's hand, like
Biden will obviously be a plus.
Use these people that are already in this crowd. Why don't you guys join this party? Kind of like saying.
But exactly. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's just trying to take as many votes away from Biden so that obviously anything that's not for Biden is automatically for Trump. We already know that because Trump's base is going to vote Trump. Does not matter, right? I think about 80% of the Republican base is going to vote for Trump. So it's about those fringe voters, which probably made the difference. I still think Biden's going to win. Hopefully in a landslide, just to really stick it to him and embarrass him.
Yeah, people ain't gonna make the same mistake that they did in 2016.
Well, we talked about this, bro. It's like Hillary was just everybody hated Hillary, bro. She was not a likable person. Is not, you know what I'm saying? So Biden, nobody really gives a flying fuck. Biden is literally a piece of paper, like whatever. It's white. It's frail, but it's not offending anybody. It's a blank piece of paper. So then, besides Kanye, doing that, what if let's say that's not his objective? What's his objective? Is it to, I don't know, like, is he trying to be that? What for? What?
Yeah.
Help me think about this. I don't know, bro. But so that those kind of asinine statements, obviously he's not necessarily unknown to do those type of things. But damn, bro, it's just like, yo, Harriet Tubman, motherfucker, like get the fuck off of that lady, bro. Like she He's probably just mad that she is just more significant in the course of history and importance to humanity than him for making a song or fucking designing shoes that are honestly straight up played out. No lie. I mean, I don't design shoes, bro. Maybe I'm going on a rant over here, but dog, switch up the design a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Like,
You know, Yeezy Fever has kind of like a little bit.
honestly, he feels that if it's working just by throwing out the name Yeezy, 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 he
I
gonna
mean,
sell no matter what.
kind of, sort of. I mean, obviously these shoes are still retailing for over $200, but um, just leave the presidency, dog. You know, like, come on, man. Like, let the pros handle that, dude. Let the pros, you know, like, just like Trump, he does not understand. I mean, a politic, root word is policy. He doesn't know about policy, dude. Like, I mean, I think we all know that, but it's like, yeah, stop fucking around with that office, dude. Like, I'm over it. I'm over it. Seriously.
I think the last year and a half, the majority of people that I know, bro, honestly, that never were into politics have become like experts. And it's like, no, no, and I'll tell you this. Think about this. Everybody's more interested in understanding policy and which things they're invested in agenda wise. Listen, this is convenient to me, my family. We got to get hits to this mayor, to this rep, to this governor, to this president. My vote's going this way, this way, this way, this way, because these are certain things that we never thought about. We used to see, I'm still saying, in the past, people see just didn't really care. It's just by likability. You know what I'm saying? People were like, oh no, they come from the Kennedy family, vote Kennedy. They wouldn't, break down what it was
had
from
that guy not been shot in the head, he probably would have been a pretty decent president. Not gonna lie.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, like honestly, like I see more people nowadays going at it with each other. Like in my job, like I don't like talking about politics. Sometimes I'll wind one of my coworkers up because I'm cool with them. I'll wind them up just to burst their bubble. I'm like, yo, man, what's up with your boy, man? What's up with your boy?
Oh, that boy's a Trump. That boy's a red hat wearer.
Yeah, man. And I'm like,
he's
bro,
a MAGA guy. Oh, he's a MAGA guy.
And it's funny because I'm like, bro, if something were to happen, you're the first one to get deployed. You're the first one to get kicked out of the country, bro. But you insist on.
Well, no, time out. What? He's an immigrant.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. I'm not telling you this. It's so funny though because I do the same thing. Like I
don't understand. I'm like, bro, do you understand that he's putting all these policies in place to not only prevent people like you and I, I'm not an immigrant, I'm a citizen, but from coming in.
But at some point you were, so.
Yeah, exactly. I was here legally, of course, but I'm saying like in the sense of not wanting certain people to come into the country. Okay, that's one thing. By not wanting to remove the people that are here currently, that are just basically.
Well, I mean, he just literally didn't he back out. I think he backed out recently from that policy that he had initially placed, that was to send back any student that was here on a foreign student that whose university was going to.
They lit his ass up because the thing about it was that they're like, because certain campuses were closed, certain universities and locations were closed, they're like, okay, we're going to do online courses. So what he was saying is, if you're taking an online course, there's no need for you to be in the United States. You feel me? So if you're from anywhere else, from Asia, down south, you don't have to technically be here in order to go attend to the classes.
You know what makes me laugh about that serving as a microcosm to most of their policies or most of the real huge, I guess, like things that they get behind or policies that they try to change. It's such a one-sided like approach where it's just like, it sounds really good at face value, boom, but then it's such a fallacious, damn, like maybe not
Like,
fallacious.
about to say
Like,
fallacious.
it could be a whole different thing. Bro, there's so much falsehood, and there's so much cardboard cutout when it comes to these policies, because it's just like, dude, it's like, yeah, it sounds great here, or it sounds like it makes sense. Yeah, sure, yeah. Well, I guess if you go to school online, then you can do it from anywhere in the world. Well, a lot of the times you have firewalls, country firewalls that make it impossible for you to start.
Oh, China has one of the highest and toughest restriction on what gets
Right. And in this country, let's say you're taking like a course, a debate course, or, like they're
politics, ethics,
what have
whatever.
you. So you need to have a fair exchange of ideas. But that's just one idea, right? So the second idea is, bro, what if things get better and in the middle of your curriculum that you're, taking place right now, all of a sudden you can go back to class.
Come back in. Come back in.
Are you gonna have
Welcome
those
back into
kids
the
then
classroom. Good to see
fly
you.
across the the world or whatever, and then or take a class from home, and then other students, it's gonna be a clusterfuck, bro. So they obviously they did the right decision for whatever reason, they arrived at it, whether it was of their own volition or not, but anyway, so something a little bit brighter, just a little bit brighter. You talked and obviously we don't mean to be going from a lighthearted subject such as Sega Genesis to what we were just talking about.
We'll finish up. We'll finish up the story in a little bit. But yeah, you're breaking down a good topic that Hey, listen, it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense with some of these policies.
I mean, most of the policies aren't making sense, dude. I get the whole thing. Like, it's like I don't think that anyone that's making the case it's the Republican, with all due respect, because I know many that I like many of them. They're either friends or not many friends, but mostly family and things like that. Obviously, I don't really have a choice in choosing them, but their whole point is just defeated anyway, because it's just like, okay, well then if you're talking about jobs, right? Well, right now obviously that whole concept has gone out the window, but you still have to consider that nobody was taking your jobs, dog. Nobody was taking your jobs. The jobs that you were thinking that people were stealing were not those kind of jobs. You would have been doing them by now. Another thing is just like, when you talk about tax cuts, well, let me tell you something. Any Republican's going to vouch for that. Any Republican's going to make that a staple. They're going to talk about smaller government. Yeah, smaller government, my ass. When you have, did you hear about what's happening in Portland? So,
they got the basically the reserve there shooting off tear gas, trying to take over their local government and control the situation. Like, bro.
Let me update you, buddy. Let me update anybody else that may not know. So what's happening in Portland is insane. Right now they have federal agents that are walking around in the streets or inside unmarked cars. In many cases, they're just rental cars with just a blanket police badge, no identification as to what police, whether it's federal, we all know they're federal, but what department, they don't know. And they're basically picking up protesters off of the street, putting them in these unmarked vehicles, taking them to an undisclosed location for God knows how long. So it's like you have the federales, homie, in a city, not like, this is like domestic shit, dude. Like they're using federal agents inside. These are troops, dog, straight up. So these guys are like lurking in the streets of Portland right now, bro. And the mayor, who's also the acting police chief, is like straight up like, yo, get out of the damn city. We don't want you here. We don't need you here. In fact, most of these problems are you're making most of these problems worse. So the point that I'm saying is that they're talking about smaller government. Bullshit. What they mean by smaller government, besides that, obviously controlling the streets, is also deregulating so that these corporations can run amok. You know what I'm saying? But all these corporations, the more power,
extend their hand as far as they want.
Dude, the more tax cuts you give them, the more power you give them. Guess what happens, bro? They don't do anything with it positive. They don't give that back to the employees. So what they're saying, like, it's insane, dude. So like, it's not that I want this place to be anywhere near socialist whatsoever, but we already have socialist principles here, don't we? Like, taxes, they go and they pay for resources. That's kind of a socialist situation right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, people that are, not for defunding the police, where are the police getting their funds from? taxes. That's kind of a socialist thing because you're taking money that I earned and you're putting it towards a resource that we are all supposed to benefit from. So, I didn't mean to make, get into a tirade regarding that. But
you're breaking down the economics, brother. Listen, sometimes we got to do that.
It's insane, dude. But it's not. What I mean is like I'm breaking down the fallacy that is the points that these Republican voters are saying. I'm like, yo, they're saying this to you. They're giving you lip service so it can rile you up. But in reality, what they are doing is not serving anybody. Only the corporations, the special interest groups. That's all it is, dude. And you're getting this much. How is it that, dude, they're going to pass the biggest stimulus package ever, bro? And most people have only seen a $1,200 check. Is that better than zero? Yes. But guess what? A lot of people have been fired. Unemployment benefits are running out. The furloughs or the moratoriums, I'm sorry, on evictions and things like that, running out. So it's just like, okay, that $1,200 check and no other provisions, give me a second. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back.
I don't think that by them not listening to certain economics, like Jerome Powell, the vice chairman, the chairman of the Fed, continues to say the same thing. If you guys, I can only lend money. I can't distribute or take action of giving this money out because that's not what the Fed is supposed to do. They're just central bank. All they do is lend. They're not in charge.
Well, they lend and they also set the terms of the economy,
yes,
in terms of interest rates and things like that.
Yeah, on the rates for right now we're like a very low. I think almost 0 or 1% or something like that.
So that I know that. I mean, some people were. I mean, at some point it had even gone to like negative for certain situations.
Well, in Europe they went negative in some countries, but honestly, like they've been saying, bro, you guys, se van a joder. You guys are gonna get screwed over if you guys don't give money to the people, bro. Like, well, I feel bad for people. Like for me, like I'm thankful to God I got my little job. I'm taking care of business. But for those people that have lost their jobs, are still basically surviving off of what unemployment is given. If that money goes away in the next 2 weeks, and you don't give out more money, and they end up losing their home and having to be kicked out of their house with their family, there's going to be a shitload of consequences. Starting with crime is going to go straight up.
Homelessness.
You got to do what you got to do to feed your family, bro. I don't care. At the end of the day, you got to do what you put me in a situation like that.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm going to do.
I don't know what I would do, but I'm definitely not going to watch my family or, my kids die of hunger. That's not, if you're not going to help the situation, you're probably causing the problem.
Yep. Yo, so not to be doom and gloom, we tend to have fun. It's an interesting topic. It's a very nuanced topic, but at the same time, the result and the transparency beyond all the bullshit is very easy to see, and the fact that they're just, I think that it's not even thinly veiled. It's just out in the open. But excuse me. Back to a lighter topic. I've been meaning to ask you this because, I'm not gonna lie, dog. The shoe game that I've seen Alfred wear, sneaker-wise, hasn't always been this strong.
I've never really been a sneakerhead. Like
a sneakerhead?
A sneakerhead, like most of my friends, because I don't know. Like for me, like I never. Like, for me, I'm a tech guy. I've always been a tech guy. I have this. I like having nice things, but when it comes to sneakers, I'm like, all right, I'm cool wearing a regular pair of Nikes. I don't really care. They're not signature edition, KDs or this or that.
You can tell you're not a Nike head because you be calling it signature edition. What the fuck is that, dude?
I mean, like you got a Dame Lillard from what is it, Adidas that they go by?
Fuck with that. Hey, great ball player. His shoes might be really comfortable to play ball in, but when it comes to Adidas, I like the classic stuff. I like the Ultra Boost, very comfortable. But my question to you was two questions actually. We'll start off with,
Man,
all right, you may not be a sneakerhead, but I'm sure you have since you were a kid or playing ball or just like the way it looks and maybe it's timeless or whatever. What's your favorite sneaker model ever? And what's your style like, kid? What you wear, kid? What you wear? What you like? I know
I don't
back
know,
then you
man.
were for some reason I was even back then I thought it was super odd. You were a big. It's gonna sound weird to throw out this name out there. You were a big Liz Claiborne fan, which I never understood
I
because
love
back,
Playboy, man.
dude,
Listen,
I was rocking Fat Farm in 2003 and Rockaware and Sean John, and this guy was like, "Yo, I got this nice Liz Claiborne cashmere sweater."
yeah,
I'm
man.
like, "Who the
Hey, listen.
fuck is Liz Claiborne?"
I may not be always I don't know, like I think I'm an old head. That's what it is. Like for me, I see all the young kids and everybody wearing, this fresh style, this new Nike, this and that. Me, I'm more into how it feels, how it suits me, how I look at it, and how I feel. For me, Liz Claiborne is probably one of it's like Sarah for you. I know you a big fan of Sarah.
No, I ain't.
Or you used to be. All right.
No,
Don't
actually,
come with the
you're
bushes.
right, dude. I don't know if you remember those trips to Dayland
Oh,
Mall
we used
on
to go. We're like,
Saturday.
damn, what's up with this stuff?
Well, partly because and I've been a happily involved in a wonderful relationship for the last 9 years. But I will say this: I used to go to that mall, boy, looking at the merchandise, and I ain't talking about what's on the rack, son. I'm talking about what's on the rack, son.
Those were the days, man. Those
That
were
was
the
fun, dude. I remember. Well, dude, if this was like 2006, I was what 20 years old, um,
yeah,
and I remember like I had like a pretty serious job at the time, well, not a serious job, but like a full time job. But I was still kind of frugal, so I would go and I have a budget of like 40, $50. Go to PacSun, grab a fresh T-shirt from DC, grab a
yeah.
fresh T-shirt from one of those fun. Oh, you know what's a big brand back in the day that I was just over the fucking mountains with, bro. I don't even know what kind of term that was. I just got really excited, bro. Bro. Now I wouldn't be caught if I see a picture of me wearing it, I'll just burn it just because it looks so weird, bro. It was a brand called Famous Stars and Straps
Oh my.
with the F right here.
Yeah, the F with the little gancho on the bottom.
Yeah,
Look
the Ganch. Got the Ganch.
yes.
This is the F right here. It looked just like that, bro. What was it like, bro? I mean, you can see how much things have changed. The hype around that shit wasn't too high, but it was pretty popular. It was like maybe like 20, $22 a shirt. Got me like two of those things, maybe a little accessory, and then we did a
That's
little lap around the mall. Maybe go to Zara, like you said, Sarah. I don't know who the hell Sarah is, but I know who Zara is.
it.
Hey,
We used
weren't
to
you a
get
big fan of Sarah? I was like, I've never met a person named Sarah in the last 15 years, man.
Zara.
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 Yeah,
Zara.
it's kind of electric at the beginning of the word.
Oh man. I remember those days, bro. But
Is it safe to say that any word that starts with Z is kind of electric?
it gets you in the mood, right?
Imagine if like Zorro back in the 40s was like Zorro. I'm a buzz you.
I'm gonna cut you, you
I'm,
know.
I'm gonna give you such a pinch.
Out here with that shit, man.
Here comes Zorro. Zorro. Imagine it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It's fun to imagine.
No, but honestly, I think we all have gone through those different points. I remember at one point I actually shaved my head. I went through my whole DMX mode.
Bro.
I don't think you remember we used to go clubbing back in the day, and I would
Yes,
go
I
through
do.
my whole DMX. And funny enough, DMX is having a showdown with Snoop Dogg. I think in the next couple of days. Yeah,
What, like a freestyle?
yeah, they're having a little battle coming up
Shut the
now.
hell up.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm gonna send it through. I'm not sure if it's gonna be
people need to
directed to
put a little more
Instagram.
respect on DMX, dude. Let me tell you. Because, bro, DMX can still throw it down.
DMX maybe a little flat out, but that's one of my favorite rappers of all time. Reason why he has such energy when he performed, just like
Yeah, but that's the same thing that got him in trouble. That's the same thing that same reason why he kind of like fell off. Because it was just a very, give me a second. It was a very, like raw, very particular style. When he was on, he was on. But he was so aggressive. And I guess, you can still say his style that think about it. Listen to all the hip hop that's really relevant now. It's leaps and bounds, maybe more than that I can even describe. It's just so different, So this guy was talking about shit that's just not acceptable anymore. You know what I'm talking about? Whether or
Yeah,
not I agree with it, I
He
can
was
appreciate it coming from him. Whether or not I agree
yeah.
with it, but still, it was like pretty raw, pretty crazy stuff, dude. But
A lot of the music from back in the day, like we were talking about this the other day, you were playing some Freeway and that them Philly boys with Jay-Z on a feature. And I was like, bro, like the music nowadays is not on the same, not on the same level. It's just there ain't no.
when he better bundle up.
You already know, bro.
Yeah, that was a good jam.
When Jay-Z will come through and break it down, that ROC. I'm like, bro, that's it.
So they call me the piano man.
I don't know if you remember Jadakiss.
I always wanted to be
The Locks.
of a fan of Jadakiss than I ever was, because there was just a few times where I would hear him and the lyrics that he would just like I'd hear every once in a while. I was like, yo, that's really clever, bro. Like Jadakiss is very clever, very good rapper. Nobody, that really appreciates old rap is
like Beanie Siegel. Beanie Siegel had he had a poetic way to put music together.
But the thing is that the flow and the way that they delivered it wasn't always super packaged, ready to get out to the millions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that when you think about it, there's a great line that before I ever heard it in a song, I heard I think it was not Common. I'm sorry, it was Dave Chappelle that brought it to my attention. And he was just saying something about like how Jay-Z had a rap where he said something about, I used to rap like damn, let me get my English.
Oh yeah.
And then I saw that it wasn't making sense, so I haven't been rapping like Common Sense. And I'm like, because back in the day, Common used to go by Common Sense.
Common Sense, yeah.
So I used to rap like Common Sense and blah, 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 blah. I haven't been rapping like Common Sense. And what I mean by that was that was a clever line anyway. But what I'm saying is that Jay-Z has always known how to, switch the style to what's relevant and still make it his own and sound good. Not that he's my favorite, rapper or anything like that, but he's known how to turn it. So Jadakiss, back to somebody like that, or Styles P, or other rappers like that, they were always pretty clever, but like the flow or that little laugh never got me into it, bro. Never got me into it, bro.
I thought you blew out your microphone out there. Scared me, bro.
Yeah, scared me now. Oye, pero so it was always that, bro. I was like, coño, bro. Like that was cool, but I can't listen to the rest of the song. It's kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? And bro,
after a little while, it gets a little repetitive.
Let me tell you who's like that for me. Who's like that, and I know that you know people that were real big into this, and maybe you know where I'm going with this. Bro, there's like maybe 2 songs that I can be like, I can fuck with that, but it's mainly because of the beat, right? The Diplomats or whoever those people were.
Oh, Dipset. Yeah, the Dipset. Yeah.
Jewel, Santana, what's his name? The bowling, what's that guy's name? Jim Jones. Jim Jones.
Yeah, crazy ass Jim Jones.
Cameron. That was obviously a big hit. But
Mr. Pink Sweaters.
I can never get into that fucking group. I couldn't, and I tried. I'm not even calling them bad. I just couldn't get into it myself. You know what I'm saying? It was just weird.
It's like Fabulous. Fabulous was a heck of a rapper. He's Dominican, half Dominican. I'm full Dominican, bro. With Fab is another one, bro. That he had a style that he will only stick to that same style throughout his whole career.
Like very chill, but at least, bro, that guy had a couple of hits, like some features or some hits or whatever that, like, and again, this guy right here is not an aficionado in hip hop. I like hip hop, like I skim over the top. I always wish that I can dive in deeper, but I can never get to that point. And I can recognize Fabulous from like back in my day. Shit, I'm fucking old when I can say back in my day, but
honestly, to me, I think for myself, I was always more of a reggaeton kind of guy, like salsero. You put some Frankie Ruiz, like I don't know, like I've always been into music that has like that high energy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I remember. I mean, back to this. I remember you used to jam to a little Gangstar, and you
Oh, boy,
know,
hey, listen, that's another dude right there. You know what I'm saying?
rest,
Gangsta we were
rest in
together.
peace, right? Rest in peace to Gangstar. I think.
He passed away in the early 2000s.
No, like a couple years ago.
Nah, he passed away a while ago. But he was lyrical as hell. He had a lot that he
You know who I used to like a lot was Scarface. Remember Scarface?
Texas.
He was no, I think he was from Georgia.
No.
Scarface?
No, he ain't from Georgia.
Do-do-do.
Killer Mike is from Georgia.
Killer Mike is from Georgia. I guess.
Outkast is another one from Georgia, which
I mean, but Outkast is all time, dog.
AT Aliens, yo.
Aquanemone.
Yo. Miss Jackson.
Damn, yeah.
Or even before that, I don't know if you remember when they used to rap with these dudes from Goody Mob. Get rich to this.
Ooh, yes, dude. One of my favorite jams.
95, rolling on 95. Dude,
they had a jam back in like the late 90s, early 2000s called the Trans DF Express.
Yeah.
Trans DF Express. Trans DF Express. And grab your ticket. Damn.
That was the jam right there.
No, you know who was part of the Goody Mob too, right? CeeLo Green.
Hell yeah. He was one of the founding. But you notice how CeeLo Green's voice was back then? How he had
on the sun, on the
yeah, man. You already know.
Yeah,
and as soon as he went on his solo thing, his more natural, like his more natural voice came out.
Yeah, but he still has that timbrecito.
Like, he had a lot of phlegm, you know what I'm saying? He was sick.
Had to clear his throat more often than not.
That's what it was. Let me see from Atlanta. I know from the Carolina you got
Petey Pablo,
aka
Pablo with that one head, dog. North Carolina. Yo, wait, no, Atlanta still has many more rappers, dude.
You got another guy, Pastor something.
Pastor Troy.
Is it Pastor Troy? I think so. Yeah,
Pastor Troy.
Yes, Pastor Troy. It is
Lil Jon. I mean, if you can, you know.
Come on, you talk about Lil Jon, you definitely have to bring in T.I.
Ludacris, chill out, Ludacris. Although Ludacris became Hollywood after a while, you know.
Yeah.
Luda. You got Luda. You had T.I. T.I. had a couple albums in like the late 2000s that I fucked with a lot.
Talking about that, and you got to talk about what's his name. Damn, one more from Atlanta. Ronco. He was Ronco.
We're missing an important name right now, dude.
Yeah. He was Ronco all the time. Like when he was singing, he's like, "Yeah, boy, he coming back." Yeah, I know you know what I'm talking about.
I always like that you have to pull your t-shirt when you're rapping.
Yeah, that's how it is, bro. Come on now. God gracious, man. When you're trying to think about it off the top of the dome, it's almost impossible. Putting that extra pressure.
I mean, dude, we are a gentleman in our early to mid 30s, and a lot of the stuff that we're trying to remember is from 15 to 20 fucking years ago. So excuse the buffer time, you know, that we have over here. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you right now. Gucci Mane's another one. Jeezy.
Young Jeezy. Oh, kind of Young Jeezy.
Yeah, Young Jeezy, man. And it's crazy because we have there's a lot of rappers, bro. Hey, I'm looking at the list right now. Atlanta rappers. You got a lot of Atlanta rappers, bro. You got Gucci Mane. You got Gucci Mane, T.I., Jeezy, Lil Yachty. Lil Baby,
but dog. Now you're getting into this day and age, and I'm telling you, I'm just not there in the mind.
Jermaine Dupri.
Oh my God, the Ferrari, the Jaguar, 64 lanes.
Yeah,
so deaf.
Yes, so
that's because look, they were so deaf.
Yeah, they were so I'm a little deaf because I can't hear them.
Yeah. They were, you know, some of the music wasn't sounding so good. They had Lil Bow Wow on the ones and twos. On the
they also had what's his name, Young Dro. Get rain in this bitch.
Yeah, we was talking about. Bow. Mound the league, mound the league.
Let me see. I'm trying to think.
Man, we're just, dude. This is like some some shit that whoever watches this video to the conclusion, I'm gonna buy you a
I'm
steak.
gonna swing from one fence to
I'm gonna
the
buy
other.
you a steak dinner because all you got is Alfred looking at his phone trying to figure out who raps from Atlanta, and then I'm making
Yeah.
random noises. I don't know what I'm doing, man. But we're just trying to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, dead ass, man. I mean, listen, to close that whole chapter, rap has not been and will never be to the point where it was artistically. Artistically, it's not gonna get there ever again. When you have people actually composing good music, and even through the early '90s and late in the early 2000s.
But you don't see that. You don't see things as cyclical. Because here's the thing. Here's my argument against that. So think about it. Rap and hip hop, has been around essentially since the 80s, right? So we're talking 30, 40 years max, no more than that. And then you have rock music that's been around, it's a good 30 years older than that. You know what I'm saying? It's been around since the 50s, sort of kind of even the 40s. And then the rock of the 80s didn't sound like what the rock of the 60s or 70s sounded like, much less in the 50s and 40s, right? So when you think about it, there's an evolution. And then, I mean, and obviously maybe they're not super mainstream acts, but I get a lot of real vintage sounding artists that I listen to, because I mean I'm a big rock sound fan. That's my favorite music. Not really like the like super duper hard. I mean, I do like punk rock, I do like hard rock, I like heavy metal, things like that. But I like a more classic sound. And
like Santana.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure, yeah, he's definitely classic rock, but he's
Like
got,
Jimi Hendrix, yeah, I feel you.
right, but so like with Santana, you have a little bit of like Latino, Afro bongos
Afro
going on in some of his music. Some of the rhythm is very well. He obviously he's Mexican, so there's a lot of Hispanic Latino groove in there. But then you also have Jimi Hendrix, very psychedelic. But my favorite music that came from Jimi Hendrix is what's it called? It's blues. Blues to me, whenever you can strip it down to something as essential as blues music, and that was my favorite sound. So what I'm saying is that even now, I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head because they're not like huge acts, but like somebody even like Jack Black, dude. Jack Black's been like one of the biggest names in rock for the last 20 years, right? I'm sure. I mean, not Jack Black, Jack White. Jack White.
I was gonna say Jack Black. I mean, you rock. That's about it.
Well, no, actually, Jack Black can rock, dude. He's got Tenacious D, bro, and they make actually really good sounding music. Let me tell you. But so Jack White, and then Jack White, when you listen to him, he's got a very, very vintage, super authentic sound, but it's very, very like cyclical. It reminds me of old music. So my point in all this long-winded shit that I'm going through here is that I think hip hop at some point, right now you got a certain sound, right? There's going to be dudes that are trying to stray away from that. There are dudes that really have never left it. You got dudes like J. Cole. J. Cole's got a very old school, fundamental rap sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's very intellectual with how he composes his music.
But the sound is old. The sound like his sound sounds like
the production stays within a certain groove.
Right.
Every single song, it might be different songs that he's put together, but the feel, I see what you're saying. Like his style is just, it stays there. I feel you. Yeah, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
So it's pretty interesting stuff. But I'd like to be more relevant. And, I always thought, when would it happen to me that I would become the old guy on the block, or the guy that was just like, yeah, get off my lawn back in my day. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I also
stop it.
I want to be true to myself too, and I like what I like, but I want to be open-minded still about music. It's just kind of, it's a little hard. Not a lot. It's a little hard.
a bunch of garbage out here, bro. I mean,
Yeah, but it's garbage to you, bro. It might be really good to some people, bro. That's what that
that don't that have not grown up with a certain
you're
standard
sounding very, very old.
what's good music, and they're like,
Your
oh wow,
self-worth
that's
is
what good music
shrinking.
sounded back then, back in your dinosaur years, Dad. No,
Yeah. But you know what? Like, for example, I still get a taste of it. Like, I'll be at my job, right? And they have a playlist, and it's just like pretty safe, old school, sort of 80s, mostly 90s
I love the
rap,
80s.
right? And it's great, but I think the nostalgia in many ways tells me that it's better. Like, undeniable, Biggie Smalls, to me the best person that has ever put together words, the most clever person. You know, Tupac was a very different sound. And in comparison to
I'm a Tupac
today,
guy because of the creative side. He had a lot of passion. I mean, I'm not saying that Biggie didn't, but in the terms of debating Tupac to Biggie,
it's all time,
I feel you're saying
all
you're
time
very right.
debate.
The way that Biggie put together his lines was very impressive, very creative, very
Dude,
intellectual stuff.
I still listen to some of those lyrics today, and it'll still hit me different. You know, I'm like, oh, that's what he meant by that. Shit, that's fucking pretty good, dude. You know, like and it's even like when it comes to like, and obviously very different styles. Obviously, you know, they both suffered a very similar fate. They had beef. It was very publicized. It's one of the biggest stories, if not the biggest story in hip hop ever, the East Coast versus West Coast, and then with Biggie and Tupac dying. So those two guys are always going to be like mentioned in the same sentence. Um, but and as much as I like Tupac, because I love Tupac, I think rap wise, and bro, you know what the problem? And I've heard people talk about this before, and they're so right about it. Tupac always had a bunch of scrubs on his songs with him, bro. Always had scrubs on his songs, dude. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you were, and you know it's funny. I was listening to yesterday. I had a playlist going on yesterday, and I was listening to Live and Die in L.A. And I'm like, bro, just the way that this guy put the music together and his style was amazing. And then I heard another one, and I forget the guy's name. That's how bad these people are. I don't even remember who the heck the guy's name was. And some of his other songs that he was jumping in there. It's a young fella.
What, in a Tupac song?
Yeah,
Dude, it was a group that he really
Outlaws. I know it was Outlaws.
right, that he supported them, and it was just like
Yeah, I mean, and they all had like, because I know uh, they all had these, for some reason, these dictator names.
oh yeah, well, I mean that was a time in hip hop. I mean, it's still kind of like that, but that
You wanted to be known as the baddest.
you want to be authoritative. But here's the thing:
Take control.
they can never hold a candle to the energy and the ferocity that Tupac was bringing and the passion, right? At least dudes like Lil C's and Lil Kim, they can fucking rap, dude. If they were jumping on a Biggie track, they could rap. The only one that was just out there, you know, like not really, you know, holding his own, but at least while Biggie was alive, Diddy was just reading words that Biggie was writing for him. You know what I'm saying? So at least the people that might have been jumping on tracks with Biggie, but one of my favorite songs, you know, from the time is called "The What" with him and Method Man. One of my favorite, bro. One of the best beats, and you know, just awesome. That little back and forth is great. And it's just like he had strong characters, maybe because it was East Coast, very East Coast, but he had a bunch of strong characters, dude, on the tracks. Bro, you got listen to what's that song? That Tupac throws shade real hard at Biggie. Can't believe I'm
Hit
forgetting.
them up.
Hit him up. Yo, you cannot match the adrenaline that is Tupac on that song, right? And then you got get out the way, yo, get out the way, yo. Biggie,
Biggest not to get draft.
get the fuck out of here with that, bro. That guy came in with that weak sauce, bro. You know?
I think one of my neighbors is killing something because.
Well, wait till what do you see some of the blood?
Hey man, sometimes I'll be hearing these damn noises in my house. My neighbor, for some reason, he decides to throw a fiesta every single night around.
Fiesta. It's a Spanish fiesta.
It's a fiesta, dog. Hey, Like, I don't know, but
You get hit with the.
he starts yelling, and somebody on the other side tells him, "Shut up." And he decides to yell even louder. I'm like, bro, don't tell him anything, bro.
Shut up!
I need to wake up early, bro. Stop telling this man.
You know what you need to do? You need to go to the air duct, right? And you have to scream, "Shut up!" But the thing is that you didn't calculate it right, so it's gonna just end up screaming in your girl's ear when she's like, in the room on some, like next to the air duct, and she's gonna be like, "What the fuck is that?"
Oh my god.
Yo,
I was shut.
when you're gonna start, you're gonna just be chilling one day in your couch on your couch in your house, and all of a sudden you're gonna feel a little drop, tip, tip, tip. You're gonna look up, and it's gonna be a big old puddle because the neighbor left the bathroom running, and they forgot, and they fell asleep, and the whole house is full of water, and now it's just.
And now I gotta go searching for Nemo.
Now you gotta go swimming. Put your little flippers on, homie.
Where's Nemo at?
Hey, time out before we wrap this one up. So Alfred and I, besides being longtime friends, as we've covered before, used to have something in common. We didn't work this, simultaneously, but we did work at the same place. And I mean, I can mention it now. It's called the Ocean Club. It's a very high-end condominium. We were both concierge.
The only place we've worked the same place.
Concierges. Well, we've also worked at Blacks together. But that we didn't work in the same location. We worked in different locations, and you didn't last that long actually. But check this out, dude. So I don't know if the guy was still there. I'll never forget what his voice sounded like, and he was actually known as rather a standoffish, kind of an asshole in the building. So he was in 207 in one of those towers, right? And one day, close to the end of my shift, I get a call, and I can straight up feel his face right here through the phone, livid, because the neighbors above him, basically, give me a second. I had a situation, right? The situation was that they had a water main, a pipe that came from the roof, bust. And the thing is that it was impossible to get to because it was behind drywall, right? That pipe was never supposed to undo itself. What happened was that it wasn't a straight line from the roof, and it was a lot of rain that day. So the joint was an elbow joint almost, and the sheer force of the water knocked that joint out of place, flooded their apartment, and then the sheer amount of water and the force started to flood the guy underneath. And then that guy was just straight up, bro, like he was speaking in every color imaginable. And I'll never forget it, bro, because even the little common areas. So there were these common areas, and these common areas were like, where people would go and hang out or play cards or whatever. And they had spotlights just to tell you how bad the flooding was, that the water was, you could see water coming through the rim of the light. It was that bad, dude. It was insane. Why did I bring the story up? I forget, but because of your neighbor that was super irresponsible hypothetically, and left the water.
Oh yeah.
So this has happened, and I've seen it. That's maybe why I'm remembering it, because bro, when I walked up to that building, I mean to that unit, it was water to the just below the knee, inside a multi-million-dollar apartment. It was insane, dude. Insane, bro. So needless to say, that was a crazy time. I had actually been wrapping up my shift, and it was the next person's responsibility. I couldn't imagine that was a great night.
Club. Literally.
Yeah, literally.
It's on your lap, Mike. It's on your lap.
Yeah, dude. So, do you have any crazy Ocean Club stories before we get gone? So, besides being a very high,
I think the only thing crazy about it was we had a hurricane. What was it?
Irma?
3 years ago. Came through, destroyed the building. We had evacuated the whole entire building. And I was the first person back into the building.
You were.
And bro, when I get there, it was mayhem, bro. Like, I'm talking about water everywhere, iguanas in the pool.
Oh, that's whatever. But we're talking about water inside the lobby or inside like units or what happened?
Inside the lobby. It looked like that movie Waterworld. I'm walking in there, stepping on water everywhere. I'm like, man, these carpets are gonna be fucked. Good luck to whoever has to clean this shit.
Damn, Joel. We had a maintenance guy. We had a maintenance guy. Super nice dude, bro.
Like,
guy was a real class act, bro. He was a maintenance engineer.
Nah, he's awesome. Hey, one of my favorite people in the world, man.
Yeah, he was always super nice. I like chatting with him a lot. Bro, but this guy, oof, bro, as nice as he was, I can't believe how he was able to keep that demeanor up, because I'm sure that some of the people that he was dealing with was, were just
I would have slapped
hard to love.
Estate quieto, coño.
He would talk like this when he spoke English. He goes, what? And he would try to come in and really, really like just erase that accent. But it was so funny because he could never just completely get rid of it. And I'll be like, hey, what's up, Joel? How you doing, man? He goes, what's going on, man? Everything cool? And I'm like, bro, everything's great. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Oh, my God. If you're watching this, Joel.
We love you, dog. We're reminiscing about you.
Love Eddie, my people's friends,
Can't forget about friends, dog. Can't forget she was the one that she put us schmucks. She's like, oh, you unemployed again, kid? Let me get you, dog. Come on, man.
I got you.
Hop on the gravy train, dog.
Oh, my God.
Who else was there, bro? You had Dennis. Dennis was a cool guy.
Yeah, man. One of the best people, man. Mr.
Dennis
Columbia.
Was a cool guy.
Funny enough, hey, listen. He was the first person to introduce me to what's called una bandeja paisa, which is a typical Colombian plate.
Boy, about to slip over the countries right quick, dog.
Nah, he ain't Dominican. I'm the one. Hey, listen, I rep my own peoples, all right? I rep my own people.
Yo, bandeja paisa, dog. Come on, bro. You can't.
Yo, talking about some white rice.
Speaking of which, yo, babe, that's what we have for dinner.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to go look for a bandeja.
I had a little something like that a while ago, bro. But we good.
Right.
But for today's episode, I think we're going to wrap it on up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I had a lot of fun. We're leaving off on a couple of notes here. Get yourself a bandeja paisa if you haven't had it yet. It is worthwhile. It is hearty. We didn't actually run down the roster on the plate. Let's run it down right quick. You got the white rice. You got the beans. You got a fried egg. You got chicharron. For those who don't know who chicharron is, you better find out. Ask about him.
Yeah.
You got a piece of steak.
Chicharron.
You got a piece of steak. You got arepa. You got the little arepa right there. The little soft cookie right there. What else? What else you got in there?
You got carne. You got meat.
Oh, you got picadillo sometimes, every once in a while.
Yes. And you got maduros. I believe maduros.
Gotta have the sweet plantains. Oh my gosh, I can't wait, boy.
Some sweet plantains. And you accompany that with something called
cocaine.
No. I don't wish, actually. I don't need that. Un jugo de leche mora.
Jugo de leche. I got you. Jugo de leche right here.
Jugo de mora and leche. Like this jugo de mora is like a drink that it's like a shake, but it tastes so damn good.
That's gonna be my next. This is my ¿Quieres jugo de leche?
I got your jugo de leche, mami.
What's a jugo de leche? Yeah. No. What they do is that they make they typically have in many or most Colombian restaurants like a fruit drink, like a juice or whatever. It's typically like a juice, like a nectar almost. And then they can also serve it to you in what they call en leche, which means in milk, translated with milk, not really in milk.
They make the drink with milk, and it tastes.
It's delicious. Dude. My favorite one I think I ever tried was the favorite one would have to be the mango. They get that mango nectar.
You had it? Okay.
Oh, no, I didn't get No. I've been on that bandeja paisa boy since I was a teenage kid, since I was a tiny little tadpole.
I gotta bring you out here to the neighborhood, man.
You got what? You got that spot out there?
We're gonna go ahead and listen. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna definitely tag not just the page that they can find a couple good followers, but they can follow us also on Instagram. I'll tag us under there, and I'll see if I can put a recommendation for the channel so you guys can see what type of food we're talking about.
That's right. That's right. We'll come up with a
We'll
curate.
watch a video and let me know what you think about the plate. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Well, that's actually a very, very worthwhile topic, and maybe we can cover in the next chapter here, where we can talk about the best eats and what the category is according to us. You know, you can find many edible South Floridas and many, and they are all worthy of listening to their advice. But we're just gonna give you that anecdotal evidence right here from the palate, you know. So anyway, yo, it's been fun. Thanks for joining, Freddie. Thanks for getting your camera fixed, and
yes, sir.
And see about talking to your neighbor about the water situation.
Yeah, I'm just gonna drill a hole into his wall and just drop a little stick of dynamite in there.
Oh my! Oh, now you're a terrorist. Excellent. I'm glad I recorded this.
Don't do that.
Later.